Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday to everybody. Welcome to the start of the new work week. This is Mornings with Michael for information and educational purposes only. Hope everybody had a great weekend. Let's get this show started here. Our word of the day is Fogbow. Our word of the day is Fogbow. It's similar to a rainbow, only the sun shining through the fog. The Fogbow rising out of the mist gave an eerie feeling to the morning air. So there's our word of the day. Take a look at where the markets are currently performing. We got our bounce. A lot of tech is up. NVIDIA was down 10% on Friday, so a 2.8%. It took the elevator down and it's taken the stairs up, so to speak. Looks like healthcare continues to do well. Eli Lilly bouncing a little bit. Energy continues to do well. Tesla continues to slide. Financials are up. So there's our look at the way things sit today. And like I like to share, the benefits of an annuity. If you worked most of your adult life, have a big position and you don't want to lose half of it, like what happened in 2008 due to a recession, well, you step up, and you do not come back down. Index investing is beaten by annuities by about 5% per year. Currently, there are some annuities that are paying between 30 and 45% bonuses on any new money coming into the plan. So if you have any interest or questions about that, feel free to reach out to us. And now let us go to our charts. Elf Beauty got a tiny bounce, but it's not really moving anywhere. We closed out our position in Elf Beauty this morning. We're a little bit frozen here. Let's see if we can change the login process, so that might be a little bit of a problem for it. See if we can reboot, and we'll be back in a moment. So we're back. We got it functioning again, and let's just go back to our share. We got Elf Kava up here. We did take a profit in 500. We had 1,500 shares of Kava, so we took profit of 500, and then we sold covered call at 65 on the rest of them. MicroStrategy kind of got bounced around a little bit today. We bought it at 1280, went down to 1235, and we got out around 1245, and then we got back in. Average price of 1310, I believe. So we're back in. We got 70 shares. MicroStrategy, we got an open call for 30 more. So we'll see if we get in there, and then if we do, we may sell a covered call on it. So we'll evaluate that at the time. And now let's go back. Let's take a look what's happening in the news. We haven't looked at the news for a while. China will facilitate Hong Kong's listing by leading Chinese companies and expand the Stock Connect cross-border investment scheme. The Securities Regulatory Commission said on Friday, and the Bank of Japan is expected to project inflation will stay around 2% target for the next 3 years in new forecasts due on Friday. So on to consumer news. We got Li Auto. Let's just bring up Li Auto. I believe they're dropping their prices. Get back to where we were here. Cut prices by around 5% in 4 of its 5 models and said it would refund owners who had bought those models earlier this year. Boy, I wish Tesla had done that for me. The move comes after price cuts by US automaker Tesla and as the world's largest EV maker revised down its prices for relaunch models. And we got a gap down on that news on Li Auto. Went down to $25. And Tesla is down, as we saw earlier, spent the weekend cutting prices of its models across China, Europe, and the US amid slumping sales and a glut of inventory. Late Saturday, the company led by Elon Musk also slashed the price of driver assistance software that it calls FSD or full self-driving by a third to $8,000 in the US. Quanix Building Products said it will buy Timon. They are down on this news, 3.4%. See if Timon will come up. It does not come up. Through a cash and share offer in a deal that would value the UK supplier of door and window components, excuse me, at around 788 million pounds. Company said Timon shareholders will be entitled to receive Great British pound, 2.4 in cash, and a little over 5 cents of a new Quanix share for each share held. Energy, I guess that's half of a share, a little over half of a share for each share held. Energy, industrials, and materials. AZZ is gapping up 3%. Quarter 4 adjusted EPS 93 cents versus estimate 70 cents. CNH Industrial downgraded to neutral from buy at Bank of America, and they're gapping down close to 7%. United States Steel Corporation mentioned positively in Barron's, saying the company may have taken a hit from the opposition to the takeover by Japan's Nippon Steel, but there are still good reasons for investors to buy the stock, and it is up 1.63%. Portuguese oil company Galp Energia, I do not believe this will be listed here. No, has launched the sale of half of its stake in exploration block offshore Namibia, where it has made a major oil discovery. Namibia is near South Africa. Total Energies has signed an agreement with Sapura Upstream Assets to acquire its 50% interest in Malaysian independent gas producer and operator Sapura OMV Upstream for consideration of $530 million. And it is moving up 0.7% this morning. On to financials, the banks continue bringing their earnings. Bank of Hawaii quarter 1 EPS 87 cents versus estimate of 88 cents. Net interest income 113.9 million versus estimate of 117.5. So I guess this is a little bit of a relief rally. People thought it might be worse than it was, and they are up 1.3%. See how much long my phone has gone under the 20%, so it keeps shutting the screen down, but we are back here. Truist Financial. Big gap up, earnings up 21%, $1.22 a share, up 3.75%. Their adjusted EPS was 90 cents versus estimate of 80 cents. Charge-off ratio was 64 basis points. Okay, on to technology, media, and telecom. CRM talks to buy Informatica fizzle, the Wall Street Journal said. Last night, talks between Salesforce and data management software firm Informatica have fizzled after the companies couldn't agree on terms. So Salesforce is actually up slightly on the news. Take a look at Informatica. Gapping down. Big gap down, so we'll have to see what they can get going to bring their stock price back up. Roku defeated accusations that its video streaming products infringe protected technology developed by a Connecticut inventor, according to a Texas federal jury. Their stock is up slightly, 1.25% today. The U.S. House on Saturday put legislation forcing TikTok's Chinese parent ByteDance Limited to divest its ownership stake on a fast track to become law, tying it to a crucial aid package for Ukraine and Israel. SoftBank to spend $960 million to boost its computing power for generative AI, the Nikkei reports, and SoftBank is up a little over 2%. That's the news for today. Take a look at the dollar is doing this morning. Dollar's up slightly. Silver is, wow, that's a big gap down on silver. Down to the 20-day moving average, down 5%. Take a look at gold. Gapping down as well, down 2.26%. We took some profits in Arrow Copper today. It's falling, gap down, fell below the 20-day moving average. Southern Copper fell to the 20, below the 20, and is bouncing. Freeport McMoran bouncing off of the 20 as well. Vale continues its strength. It's nice to see. 2 days in a row, up 5.57%. BHP bouncing as well, up nearly the same, 0.55%. Rio is up 0.3%. Let's see what our copper pricing is at. Slight pullback to 28, but hanging in there as it had gapped up on Friday. Let's take a look at what Pito is doing. Moving up, this triangulation at the 50, 10, and 20-day moving averages. Ethereum gapping up, but it is near the low of its gap this morning. See if we can take another look at a better chart for Bitcoin. We'll check back on this a little later. It needs a refresh. So let's take a look at our bonds, bond yields. Up slightly, but they are on the low for the day. 20-year bond yields are up slightly as well, up 0.68% to 3.72. What our VIX is doing. Yeah, we got a big retracement here in the VIX. Definitely hit our 1809 and then some. S&P hit our target at 498. RSP is up today, 0.69%. See where our targets were. On the NASDAQ, it was 419.57. Didn't quite get there. On the IWM, 195.64. Did we get there? Not quite. So still time in the week. And the Dow Jones was 381.81. We got to 382.31. So hit 3 out of the 4. Take a look at where we are on daily routine. What's up 3%, 50% increase in volume. We got Kirby. Big volume here. And it's up nearly 5%, up to 150. Kirby is in the oil and offshore marine transportation. What's up 5%, 100% increase in volume. CBIS, we've got 11 items here. Agriculture operations, up 7.85%. Got some average volume, but it's still early. A lot of farming information here. Farmers and Merchants Bancorp. Look at that big move, up 5.76%. Volume is kind of average for the moment. Ingevity, chemicals and high performance carbon materials, gapping up and near the high of its gap, up 0.25%. Here's Kirby again. Cura Oncology, big move up nearly 10% to gap up. Pretty good volume, right near the average with half the day gone. Metropolitan Bank gapped up and was on the high for the day, near the high, and it is up again today, up another 8.75%. Provident Financial Services gapping up above the 50-day, up nearly 7%. CADR. I know this was a stock of the day a couple of days ago. It is gapping up 8.75%. Pretty good volume. May see if I want to put on an option on this one. And Tronex Holdings up nearly 6%. Volume is kind of average. Vista Outdoor is gapping up near the high, up a little over 6%. And volume is about average. And finally, Wolfspeed, power switches, RF devices, silicon carbide. It's up 9%, but it's pretty hard to see. Let's take a look at our 5-minute bar. Here, it's just moving right along, and then all of a sudden, some big buyer comes in and moves it up significantly. Pulling back from its high, but that's Wolfspeed. And Wolfspeed is the only one that is up 10% and 200% increase in volume. So there we have it. Our system is a bit slow again. Just wanted to go over a few other things that we did in our portfolio. See if it'll let us move in. Just gonna see if we can bring that back up. We decided to close out Microsoft. Look at what Tesla is doing. Tesla continues down. Google. Up slightly today. Meta continues down. We took off some partial profits, and then we sold some 520 call options to get some more money coming in. On Apple, we rolled down our put spread. We had a nice profit from the 175 to 170, so we rolled that down to the 165 to 160 put spread on Apple. On Netflix, we had the 650 short calls. We took our profits in them and rolled that down to 570. Just continue to bring in money on Netflix. And let's see, Nvidia. Took some partial profits in Nvidia. Nvidia's up today. Trying to recoup a little bit of it. It's close to 4% of its losses of over 10% on Friday. Let's take a look around at some other AI issues. Kind of bouncing an arm. SMCI went down quite a bit over the weekend on Friday and continued down. They did not release their earnings. They were supposed to have a conference call or something that they did not release the numbers. So that's part of the reason it went down 28%. And then, so SE put on a call here, probably be at 60, 65. There's a lot of institutional buying over here. A little bit of a consolidation, and now we got a pretty big move here. Still 22 days before the earnings come out. And I think that's what we got on the news today. There is one other high tide flag I just wanted to review. That is still kind of hanging in there. That we continue to hold. We have a pretty small position in it. If I can get the ticker symbol correct. This is Corbus Pharmaceuticals. We bought over in this, around this area. Came up here. So hold it above its 50-day moving average. So that's currently what we're doing. And that's our show for today. This has been Mornings with Michael for information and educational purposes only. Market's trying to bounce today, as we showed in our weekend update. This market does bounce, but once it gets under the 50-day moving average, starts turnover, and the algo trading, computerized trading, and just continue to sell into this type of rally. We did not look at our financials are up. This is a nice move. Wells Fargo continues trending upwards. Energy looks strong. Weatherford has been a leader in energy, bouncing off of the 50-day moving average. Communications got a little bit of a bounce, still under its 50-day. Utilities continues their move up. Real estate got a little bit of a bounce as well. Infrastructure, biotech. Oh, that's pretty nice move in biotech today. Another biotech one is bouncing as well. Software, a little bit of a bounce. Technology looks about the same. Semiconductors got a little bit of a bounce there. Jets looks like one of the strongest ones. We'll see if it can break out over here. See if Ryanair is still kind of leading the charge. Got a little bit of a pullback. Delta Airlines looks pretty good. Airbnb. Get a little bit of a bounce. We kind of rolled our covered call to 170 out to June. Was it out of the office? Metals and mining. Trying to get back to the 20-day, had a big kind of a sell-off earlier in the day. Home builders get a measly bounce, a little under 1%. And finally, FANG is up slightly. And here are some of the shorts we're looking at. This is in small caps. This is in the NASDAQ. And this is the S&P 500. So you can see they've all been kind of trending higher. A little bit of a pullback today on the bounce. We'll continue to monitor that. And that's our show for today. Mornings with Michael is brought to you for information and educational purposes only. Hope everybody has a great day. Go out and do your own due diligence. If you have any questions about your personal goals and finance, feel free to reach out to us. Keep working on your goals and keeping up writing new activities to help you get there every day. We look forward to seeing you back here on Taco Tuesday. In the meantime, go out there and have a great start to your week.